Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us for this week's webinar training. I'm hoping to give you some inspiration and quick tips to help you with your business this week. So it's February 13th already. Can you believe it? Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I hope you all have a wonderful, special day with those that you love, however you are able to celebrate that. So on our agenda for today, we're going to talk about Gel Intim, the soy moisturizing gel. For our business tools, we'll talk about how to network with Yoast and how to do some follow-up with our customers this month. For tech tips, we're going to talk about the power of social media and just kind of help give ourselves that mindset of how to use it correctly for our business, how to use it efficiently for our business. Well, and we'll finish up with our call to action and a few quick reminders. So let's start with our product spotlight. Gel Intim is something that we talk about in the month of February for its love and connection, love and romance benefits. Because it's a soy moisturizing gel, this is perfect for improving the enjoyment of intimacy for all couples. It helps to soften, moisturize, and lubricate intimate areas. But this, I feel like, is most popular with our customers who are going through menopause, because there are decreased estrogen levels at that time, which can cause discomfort and dryness and things like that. So what I love about the Gel Intim, is that we're able to take plant estrogens and kind of help them support our body when it's not making enough of its own estrogen. So it's just perfect for women going through menopause or anyone going through hormonal imbalances where they have that dryness and other issues. So again, any couple may use it, but it's especially helpful for women going through menopause. And it has nice gentle ingredients like soy extracts, aloe vera. It does have glycerin and things like that in it because it is also used as a lubricant, right? So it's a really cool product though. So if you are talking to your customers who are experiencing any of those issues, this is really helpful. This is one that I send out just discreetly in samples to my customers if I think that they or their friends might really appreciate that. It's just like, here it is. This is what it's for if you'd like to try it. It's a great way to get the word out. And once people try it, they're usually really excited about it. So that's our Gel Intim. Works really well with Deo Intim and just keeping everything more balanced and comfortable. All right, so moving on to our business tools for today, we want to talk about some quick tips for how to network with Yoast, because we all know that if we want our business to continue to thrive, to continue to grow, we cannot rely on our inner circle. We cannot rely on our customers that we already have. We have to keep building, because even though we have a product that people are getting refills on, they use in their daily routines, etc., we also have a really high yield product where a little bit goes a long way. And so we want to keep our sales up every month. We have to keep reaching out to new people, which is great because a lot of us have this mission of reaching as many people as we can and helping them feel better. So networking helps us serve a lot of different purposes. So Cesar has 3 main tips that he has shared with us for how to build our network. And they're really simple and really easy. So one is to share samples. You should have a collection of a diverse collection of samples in your bag when you go out of your house every single day, right? Because as we go out into the community and we're talking to people, I often start conversations about stress or illness, like when I'm at the play area with other moms and my daughter's playing in the play area, talking about, oh, these stuffy noses are just nonstop this time of year, or, oh my gosh, I can't drink enough coffee today. I need something else to help me. Like we have these conversations that are related to Yoast needs. And as I'm talking to other moms and I ask them questions and I learn about their needs, I'm able to say, hey, have you tried this? I use this and it helps me in these ways because it has these benefits and these properties. So it's a really easy way to start a conversation out in the community. You're getting to know people you would get to know anyways, but you have samples ready to share with them in the moment. I also sometimes there are certain things like Eucosol spray that you could just demo in the moment if you have that with you. But most of our creams and things like that, you'll want a specific sample that you can hand off. You can also use samples to generate excitement and to give people obviously like a way to try out your things that you're using or that you're talking about in social media as well. So if, and the company helps us out with this, where a lot of times they're giving away samples with orders of $75 or more. And a lot of times those samples are connected to the sales that come up the next month. So we'll be talking about that as well. But remember that samples are a really powerful way to help people fall in love with Yoast like we have, and to just help talk about needs in a really quick way out in the community too. So another way to network is to create events. Whether you are hosting events in your own home, kind of like an open house kind of thing, or some of us do like a mystery host type spa where we set up the event, they come to our house. From the people who order that event, we give away the host rewards to someone with a drawing, right? Or you might have a host who has an event in their home. You might have a social selling event online, or a Zoom event online, a Facebook group event online. There are so many different ways to do this. Talk to your leader or with one of us if you have questions about how to get rolling with any of those different events. So the reason why events are so important is that hostesses help us network with their network, right? Like we get to meet their network. We get to gain trust and confidence and credibility with their network and start teaching them the tips and tricks that we have learned along the way as well. And these hostesses get rewarded for their time as our network partner, right? Our networking partner, with our generous host rewards program. But it's a really cool way to get people hooked, they get like hooked on a specific topic that we're going to talk about that is relevant to their needs. Then they join and they learn. If you can do it in person, even better, because we know that the feel and the aromas of our products are what make them very powerful, right? So whenever you can, try to do some kind of in-person element. But a lot of us are even doing hybrid, where there's an in-person element, and our event also has a virtual aspect to it for people who couldn't make it to the in-person. So be creative with that. There is no wrong or right way to create an event, a spa or a workshop or a wellness class, whatever you want to call it. But they're a great way to meet new people and to keep bringing up new topics with our customers and their friends and family as well. And the last one is the needs cards. Oh, and I was going to take my note and I forgot. So the needs cards, our little needs cards that come with our consultant kit, are a really good way to narrow in a conversation that we're having with someone. So I'll give you an example. I was at the gym where my daughter does toddler classes and things like that. And I was talking to a nanny who works with a lot of different families, like for a year at a time. And she has a pretty high stress load because she works 45 hours a week taking care of other people's kids in other people's houses, right? And so she and I were talking about Yoast. I use a lot of Yoast products for stress relief, and I knew she was from a Spanish-speaking country, so I just asked, like, are you familiar with Yoast? And she's like, yes, you have that here. She was so excited. So we opened the door, right? But then we wanted to talk more about, like, okay, but what do you really need from Yoast, right? Because she was like, I have a couple of things. I don't really know how to use all of them, et cetera. So that was when I would say, okay, why don't we meet here on Friday? And then I bring my needs cards, and I pick a few that I think might be relevant to her kind of lifestyle, and I set those out on a table, and I'm able to narrow it down of like, okay, so these are some of the needs that Yoast products can address, right? What are things that are most important to you? She can pick and choose what stands out to her the most, and that can guide our conversation and make it more specific. Because if I go in and try to teach her about everything that Yoast has, or we just like ramble on about Yoast products and how much we love them, it's really hard to find a way to just meet the needs that she has at that time, right? So think of needs cards as a great way to start conversations and to focus them onto the customer's most important needs at that time. Okay, so they can be used in that kind of like one-on-one shopping situation. They can also be used in like a spa. If you're doing an in-home spa, for example, and you set them out on a table, people can grab those at the beginning of your spa and hold on to them. And that kind of guides you who's going to help you demo different products that you'll be talking about. You can also use these in your video content. So those of you who are posting images and videos to social media, you can hold those little needs cards up as your hook, as your interest your attention grabber in your videos. And that just helps use them in a variety of ways. They're already cute and beautifully presented. You can use that as an introduction in your videos. So there are so many different ways to do this. We also want to show you a way to do this with customers that you're communicating with online. This happens, a lot of us who are getting customer inquiries via email from TikTok or maybe via WhatsApp or something like that, where people are like, hey, I found you on TikTok. I have this need. How do I reach it, right? Or they say, hey, I saw you on TikTok. I'm interested in learning more about these products. There is a virtual survey version of the needs cards that is such a beautiful way to get, again, that focused conversation going with a new customer. Let me show you what that looks like. I just posted screenshots so that we don't have to switch cords here. But so if you go into your consultant app, you will notice that there is a button that's called needs cards. Go ahead and do this with me. If you haven't tried these out yet, go ahead and do this with me. Pull up your phone, open up your consultant app, and click on that little needs cards. And what's really cool about these needs cards is that I'm able to just like in a minute, fill out the information and get a link that I can share with someone else. So here's where this is different from like our sponsoring links and things like that. We click on needs cards and you're going to see a screen. I'll pull it up on my phone as well. I think it's too bright here maybe, but go to the needs cards and you will scroll down and notice that there are quite a few fields that you have to fill out here, okay? So you're going to fill in information like your first and last name, you as the consultant, your first and last name, enter your email that you use for your used business, like your work email, and then it will say type of contact. Is this person shopping through a specific spa? Is this person just an individual customer that you met? Is it in a group of customers, like a community that they're a part of, so that you have that kind of organized? You'll put in the, if it is a spa thing, you'll put the spa host's information in as well. Otherwise, if I click on individual customer, this is what I do. This is what I use this I use this for the most. I click on individual customer. And I select a theme. So if this is a person who's just like, what does Yoast have to offer? I would choose introduction to Yoast. If they've been talking about stress a lot, if they've been talking about respiratory care, I just choose a topic that most relates to what I know about them so far, so that the cards that they see in this needs cards activity are relevant to their overall needs that I'm aware of so far. Does that make sense? So make sure that you choose, if you're doing that, go to individual customer and then choose the topic that you think most relates to them. This is where asking lots of questions with our customers comes in handy, right? We want to start that conversation, show them that we're interested in what they need, and ask questions and listen to what they have to say. And then after I fill all of that out, then I go down to the bottom, and I'll show you what that looks like here. On the very bottom, this is where we get the link. So we're not getting the link from that normal like link sharing icon that's up on the top here. We're going to get it from down here, because this is going to take all the information in those fields that we just filled out, and it's going to give us an option to now take this personalized needs survey we just created and send it to someone. I usually use this option, copy link, because then I can take that link and share it in WhatsApp, email, text, wherever I'm communicating with the person. But there are other widgets that you can click on that will take you directly to those apps as well. So how easy is that? Now, here's the cool thing. You send that off. You let them know the context. Like, hey, would you like to take our needs card survey just to see like what would be the best options for you right now? Kind of give them the context, share the link. When they fill that out, they are going to submit it and their answers come to your email. So you'll get an email, it's all beautifully laid out, and you'll see like the selected needs cards that they marked that they were interested in. And then that helps you better serve their needs and start the conversation with them, do that follow-up conversation with them. So this is super helpful. When we don't get the chance to like sit down and put out our paper cards and have that one-on-one in-person conversation with them, this is a way to get that rolling in a virtual way. Tell us in the chat if you have used this before, or if you think you will use it in the future, whether you're on Facebook or here in Zoom. Let us know if you'll be trying out these virtual needs cards, and if you have any questions about how to fill them out. So we open up needs cards from our app. We fill in all these fields based on the person that we're going to be talking with, and then we just copy a link and share it with them so they can open it up and fill it out. I've used this with a lot of people who have contacted me from things that they've seen on my TikTok content, and it helps get the conversation started. And it also opens their eyes to like, wow, this company is really cool and can help me with a lot of different needs that I have in my life. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So for our other business tools that we want to talk about, we want to remind you about a really easy, simple thing you can do for customer follow-up this month. Remember how I said, you know, the company helps us out. They send out these free samples the month before, and they're usually connected to something that's going to be on sale the following month, right? They give us that little boost. So when our customers get these samples, like in January, they got a romance sample pack with an order of $75 or more. Do you remember seeing this? Yeah. So they've already gotten like these samples to try at home. But you know what happens sometimes? People get samples and they're like, oh, that's interesting. And they set them on the kitchen counter and they get lost forever, right? Or they throw them in their purse, and we know how that goes. So what we can do as consultants is we do a little quick follow-up with these customers. We just have to open our order history in Virtual Office, right? Order history, and just put in the dates for January of this year. And then just go through the list and click on the customer names or the orders so that you can see who had $75 plus retail. You'll be able to see the little sample pack listed in there, and call those customers, or, you know, however you normally communicate with them. If it's text, if it's message, if it's a phone call, contact those customers to see if they have tried their samples. Ask, oh, I see that you got the free romance samples last month. Isn't that cool? Have you tried them yet? What do you think? And they'll be like, oh, I forgot about them. Or, oh, yes, and I really love whatever product. It's a great way to remind them that those are there, and to take advantage of those. And then that, again, will open up the conversation so that you can share tips on how to use them, different ways to use them. You can share offers. Oh, you liked the Deo Intim? Well, that's on sale this month in these different sets. Or you can ask about other needs too that come up. So it's a really good conversation starter. The company has done us this big favor of already sending out some samples. Make sure that we put that on your to-do list to follow up with customers who received those samples. Okay. And also encourage them to, like, maybe they're like, oh yeah, but I already have Deo Intim and I love it. Like, oh, you know what? Those samples are great to give to your friends. If you have a friend who you think would appreciate it, share it with your friends. I have some customers who are like my co-consultants. They're like, I don't want PCC. I don't want to be a consultant. I just want to help you out. I'm going to spread the word. So I have customers who I send them samples. They share samples with their friends. Their friends tell them what they want and they order through me. Like, it's a beautiful thing. When people fall in love with our products, a lot of times they are willing to share these samples with other people as well to help us spread the word. So make a note on your to-do list to do some follow-up with that, and do that every single month, right? This month, they're also getting, what is this month? Is it vital use samples? So make sure that next month you check in with how they like their vital use samples. Yeah, it's a great habit and it's so easy. Okay, and then our last topic today is we want to talk about the importance of social media and kind of how to get in the right mindset when we're using it. Let us know in the chat, are you on social media for your used business right now? What is something that you like doing on social media? Or maybe just share like, I have not gotten into that yet, I'm working on it, right? So where are you in your social media journey with used? Because a lot of us get kind of hesitant about it because we're thinking, okay, why should I dedicate this time and effort to social media for my used business, right? Maybe you've done a lot of in-person spas, that goes really well for you. That's awesome. Don't stop doing that. But why should we dedicate time and effort to social media in our used business? Any guesses? Go ahead and put them in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or Zoom. Why is this worth the time and effort for us to keep posting content out on social media, like on our public Facebook business page, on our public Instagram business account? There's some of us on TikTok. There's quite a few of us on TikTok at this point. What are some benefits of that? There's a lot. I'm going to be sharing a big long list in just a moment. Go ahead and share in the chat just one thing. What do you think is one benefit of posting about the needs that used products can meet on social media? And I'll be back to look at those answers. Are we ready? Okay, the teacher in me is like hesitant to give the answers. Okay, so we're going to post on social media so that we can build excitement about holistic wellness and everything that used has to offer. We can also help build a knowledge base about essential oils and their properties and their benefits. We can help ourselves grow by meeting new customers and consultants who are looking for what we have to offer, like attraction marketing, right? So instead of trying to convince the people we already know to love the product, we are reaching out to people who love this type of holistic wellness and are looking for us, right? We're able to sell more and grow more. And social media ends up kind of being like today's search engine, right? So there are people who will go into Instagram or to TikTok, and that's where they're looking for us. If someone's like, oh, I wonder if someone sells Eucosol, someone who is originally from Mexico, now lives in the United States, and they're like, oh, I would really love a Eucosol refill. I wonder if I can find that. They will hop on Instagram or TikTok and search that instead of just going like to Google, right? So they do serve a major purpose as today's search engines. And also people are just on them looking for inspiration and entertainment and education on things. So it's a place that people are already spending a lot of time and are in a nice casual mindset where we get to connect with them. Yes. And what I really love about social media is that we get to put forth a lot of our own creativity and authenticity in the why behind our business. And we get to put our own personal brand out there, which can be really fun and really rewarding to kind of put your own twist on things, right? So just go ahead and tell me in the chat if any of those were what came to mind. Why should we dedicate that effort? It gives us a big payback, okay? Now, it is important to have a good mindset and strategy when we approach social media. One way to look at it is, okay, when people are on social media, what are they looking for? And the answer, if you're like, they want me to sell them stuff, that's not it. They are not going on to Instagram like, oh, I hope someone sells me something, right? They're not going onto TikTok saying, oh, I hope someone convinces me to buy something today. What they are doing is they're looking for inspiration, education, and entertainment for the most part, right? So some people might go on there for shopping, but for most of our target audience are going to be looking for inspiration, or they want to learn some helpful tips. They want to be entertained. And think about, like, that's how I use social media too, when I'm not just using it for my business purposes. And when we create that as our focus for how to reach our target audience, like we talked about last week, who is your target ideal customer? What are their needs? What are their fears? What is their lifestyle like, etc. When we think about that target audience and we remember that they are on social media looking for inspiration, education, and entertainment, that helps us create content that matters to them, right? We don't want them to swipe past us. They want something that we say or do or show to be like, oh yeah, I need that. I need that information. This sounds interesting. This sounds like something I would like to know more about. Yes. So this is a way to kind of go into it with that mindset. People are not going into social media to just go buy stuff, right? They do buy stuff from social media, but they are going for inspiration, education, entertainment. And so when we're thinking about our target audience, think about when you're creating content, you can talk about needs and solutions. Like, I'll give an example later. They're looking for routines that would be helpful for them for skincare, for body care, etc. Maybe for headaches or migraines, things like that. And they're looking for quick tips. Did you know this, right? Or stop doing this way, try this, right? They're looking for quick tips. So when we're doing that, there's a few quick things that we can do to make them listen to us, right? Not make them listen to, make them want to listen to us, right? So one thing is we have to show our face. It's not just an algorithm thing, because algorithms do look for people's faces, right? But also people, their brain kind of lights up when they see a face, right? With eyes, and we're looking at them and we're connecting with them. So make sure that you're showing your face as often as you possibly can. Because those of you who are on like TikTok, for example, if you just make a video that just shows like a product in your hands, it doesn't get a lot of views, right? The algorithm says, that's boring. People want to see a face. So make sure you show your face. Make sure to be yourself. People can see through us putting on a show or being too professional or too stuffy or whatever. They can see through that really fast, right? So make sure that you're just being yourself. You can be casual, authentic. Like I said, you don't have to be super dolled up. You don't have to be super professional. You don't have to put on a suit. Like, you want to be relatable, right? You want people to be able to relate to what you're talking about. So being your casual, authentic self is okay. Yeah. We want to be showered. We want to be clean. We want to be presentable, but you don't have to be super dolled up or overly professional. That can actually be detrimental if we're overly professional. And also outline your plan before you create your content, right? So it doesn't have to be a specific script that you're reading, but make sure you have a plan of like, okay, I'm thinking today I want to inspire people from my target audience to do this. Here's how I'm going to hook them in. Here's how I'm going to teach about it. And here's how I'm going to wrap up with some kind of call to action, like email in my bio or something like that. So make a quick outline of what you're going to include to save yourself some time and make meaningful, high quality content. Okay. And like I said, all of this should always be focused on that target audience, which we talked about last week. Remember that when we're thinking about our target audience, we have to stop trying to please everybody with our content, because that will be exhausting and it can make us feel kind of sad, right? We want to think about who needs this, who needs the solutions that I can provide the most, who is going to be my ideal customer and prospect, possibly to join my team later. Think about those people, get a clear picture. It might be one profile, it might be multiple. What is their gender, age, profession? What are their hobbies, goals, and dreams? What are their needs and fears and challenges? This is a great one to base your social media content on, because people are looking for solutions to those things and they would like them quickly, please. Shopping habits, lifestyle, etc. Use all of that information in your imagination to come up with that profile of your target audience, so that you're always creating content that's relevant to that profile, or like I said, it could be multiple profiles. Okay. And also related to this, we chatted about this last week as well, but remember to create meaningful hooks and meaningful content for that content, or for that target audience. So one, like TikTok that I'm planning to film later today is going to be something like, stop trying to improve your mood with coffee and try this instead, right? And then I'm going to talk about how to use citrus oils and floral oils to have a natural mood uplifter, right? So I'm never going to say things like, stop taking this medication, don't listen to your doctor's advice, whatever. I'm just going to try to think about what are things that people have that are maybe unhealthy habits in their life that they could adjust and try something that's better for them with something that Yoast can provide. Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be super salesy. It doesn't have to throw products at them. It's just going to be like, let's stop doing this thing that's not very helpful and let's try this helpful thing instead. That's a really easy way to design your content in a way that people are like, oh, I'm going to stop and listen to this. Okay. So here are a list of a few other hooks that we talked about last week, but remember to make it, we need to get their attention quickly. Otherwise we lose them really quickly in the swipe that is social media. Okay. Any questions about that, or any tips that you think that you will carry along with you this week to try in social media? Go ahead and share in the chat. I would love to hear if something was helpful out of all of that. You know, we like to hear that something was useful. So, and then while you share that information, I will go through our call to action for this week. So we have these two new sets, the Love and Romance set and the Love and Romance like travel size pack, that are on great super sale this month. So remember to try to sell 2 sets, whether it's one of each or maybe 2 of the big set. Make sure that you're talking about that a lot with your customers, so that you have a clear goal in mind. I mean, like really one of those Love and Romance sets and you have met your sales requirements for the month, but I'm sure you will all go beyond that. So go ahead and write that on your to-do list. I'm going to sell 2 sets, whether it's 2 of the big ones, 2 of the small ones, 1 of each. You set your goal. Okay. And then we're going to go on to just a couple of quick announcements that we have for our offers that